Hello everyone, I'm Carthu, and welcome back to the Dojo. Today we are discussing a negative thing in Dragon Ball Super. What is this? Is this the Carthu I know and love? Yes, because actually before basically the Goku Black arc, I had a lot of negative things to say about Dragon Ball Super, and some of the silly, we'll call them, decisions that Toei made with Toriyama's notes. Now, the reason I'm going to do this is because, first off, I want to show that I'm not a fanboy of the series. I like about half of the series. But really, I also want to show that there are some things that we don't want to see repeated in the future. And so, this controversial title, I know, a lot of people love it, but I hate it. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken was a mistake. So let's jump into my reasons. The first big reason is that it makes Beerus far too strong. I mean immensely powerful. Because as of recently, we've discovered that Beerus basically thinks that Omen of Ultra Instinct is probably stronger than himself, which would imply that Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue Goku is not stronger than Beerus. So that on its own sounds ridiculous, but let's go over what Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue Goku actually means. First, we have Super Saiyan God, which is in the first arc, and is stated to be stronger than Vegito. Now, it should be stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Vegito at least, and you could argue Super Saiyan 3, but I won't for the purposes of this video, which, if you go by the guides, Base Vegito is stronger than Super Saiyan 3. Let's lowball him to Super Saiyan 3 though. Times that by 100, and that is 40,000 times stronger. So, Vegito is 40,000 times base Goku, and for, again, the sake of lowballing, let's equate those two, Super Saiyan 2 Vegito, to Super Saiyan God. This means Super Saiyan God is a 40,000 times multiplier, which was absorbed into Goku's base form. That means when he stacks that form on top of himself, he's getting another 40,000 times. We could argue it's weaker, but there's no reason to believe so. I mean, we literally have no reason to believe so. So you take that 40,000 times and square it, and that gives you 1.6 billion times Goku's base form at the beginning of Super. Okay, great, this is how strong Goku is right now. Awesome. Let's go even further beyond that, because we have Super Saiyan Blue, which is shown in the Kefla fight, because Super Saiyan God against base Kefla was getting stomped, whereas Super Saiyan Blue was actually getting fairly close to that, Super Saiyan 1 Kefla level, which is, for her, a 50 times increase, which would mean for Goku, that Super Saiyan Blue is also a 50 times increase. So what is 50 times 1.6 billion? Well, that is a staggering 80 billion times, but it gets even crazier than that, because Goku could stack Kaioken times 10 on top of that. So then, he's at 800 billion times his base at the beginning of the series. So let's go even further than that, because after the Future Trunks arc, Goku is able to tie with Hit, this Hit being stronger than the Hit he fought in the tournament, by the way, but let's ignore that and just say that Goku got 10 times stronger because he doesn't need Kaioken times 10 now. Great! And then he could stack Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 on top of his 10 times increased base form, which would basically be like having a 200 times Kaioken, because it's basically the same thing. Right? So let's times that by another 20, and we get 16 trillion times Goku's base form at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. Goku is 16 trillion times stronger in not his strongest form, in not his second strongest form. In Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20, 16 trillion times stronger than he was at the beginning of the series, and for the sake of argument, let's divide that by 40,000 to take away that initial Super Saiyan God multiplier, and this is 400 million times stronger than Super Saiyan God. Remember, the Universe Buster himself. So Goku is 400 million times stronger than he was at the beginning of the series, and yet it took another form beyond that to become greater than Beerus. It took another form even further beyond. Another transformation technique, whatever you want to call Migate no Gokui, to even get close to Beerus. Now, this makes their first fight insignificant. It really makes you wonder why Beerus even bothered. Is this even entertaining for him? I mean, like, was using, 1/4 of his power, really worth it? I mean, it's crazy. Because Migate no Gokui is pretty strong, and if Beerus is just guessing that Migate no Gokui is so much stronger than him now. I mean, Migate no Gokui is one of the best feats in the series, and this is Omen, by the way, where he shook the entire world of Void, which is infinite. He shook an infinite realm. That's crazy. But yet, that infinitesimal difference is what might be stronger than Beerus. It makes Beerus seem like a weird character. It takes away from his dynamic in the beginning of the Battle of Gods arc, and it really belittles us as viewers. And it makes you realize that Toriyama really had no intentions of this being the case, because Goku basically doesn't use it at all, except for one point in the Future Trunks arc. He uses it literally once against Merge Zamasu. He never used it against Goku Black. Why? Goku Black almost killed them several times. He never used it. Not once. Watch the arc again. It's actually stupid. It's one of the big falling outs that arc has, and it's entirely because Toei decided to make this ability be in the canon. And it's ridiculous. It's such a useless ability because it multiplies it so many times over. And you could have had Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue in the same series. All you had to do was make it ×2 or ×3, and it's way more believable. Those numbers drastically drop. But since we had to surpass Kaioken ×10 with the Hit rematch, and since we had to add Kaioken ×20 with, the fight with Jiren, we got 200 times stronger than we needed to be. And 200 times is a lot. It's a hell of a lot. The biggest gap in power in terms of forms is probably like Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan God, which is a crazy big difference. But other than that, 200 times is pretty crazy. You gotta remember, Super Saiyan God is really only about 100 times stronger, lowballed, of course, it should be stronger than this. But lowballed Super Saiyan God is 100 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3. These Kaioken boosts have made Goku 200 times stronger. So what else? Is there more issue to this besides just the power issue? Oh yeah, there is! Because a whole dynamic of Super was utterly devalued by this mechanic. So, what dynamic am I referring to? It is none other than the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta. For the first time in Dragon Ball, we have an actual rivalry between these two characters, where they're actually keeping pace with each other, except they're not, because Goku is always 10 to 20 times stronger than Vegeta. Literally, right after Resurrection of F, the arc that was supposed to show you that they were extremely close in power, extremely competitive with one another, and extremely capable of being ahead of each other at any point, Toei decides that, oh no, let's drop that dynamic and make Goku 10 to 20 times stronger instantly. Without warning. Without training. Without any hint that he had been doing this on the side. Because, he'd been spending the last 3 years training with Vegeta right before this tournament. So when did he learn this again? While Vegeta was sleeping? Goku is the one that's known for sleeping, not Vegeta. So, yeah, I don't know about that. That's kinda crappy. And honestly, it just ruins everything of that dynamic. It made us need a form for Vegeta to even fight alongside Goku against Jiren. I'm not kidding, that's why Super Saiyan Blue Evolution exists. I'm not calling it Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolution. I'm sorry. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution literally only exists so that Vegeta can be 20 times stronger than Super Saiyan Blue and fight alongside Goku. Remember how it didn't show up again at the end of the arc? When they were sparring each other? Oh yeah, right, because it wasn't in Toriyama's notes. Guaranteed. I will be very surprised if Toriyama actually wrote the idea himself and didn't just take the pitch that Toei gave him and say, yeah, you could do that. Because, honestly, it's the only reason that form exists. It's not Migate no Gokui, like most of us thought because of the pupils and everything. It's not some crazy powerful form that transcends all other powers. It was just to give Vegeta some shine and give him some fancy new colors to sell more merchandise because Goku already had his Kaioken red phase. Really. Seriously, I can't anymore. Mastered Super Saiyan Blue from the manga. As much as some people hate the manga, you have to admit it's better. First off, in the Universe 6 tournament, it was just showing that Goku was stronger than Hit, but didn't have the stamina to keep fighting him until he figured out how to counter his technique. Great. Second, we get Mastered Blue, which I still think is a cop-out in its own right because of how late it came into play in the Goku Black arc. But, at the very least, it gives Vegeta something that he can also get. You know, an ability, a transformation, a perfection of that transformation, just like Super Saiyan Grade 4. Something that he's actually able to use and keep up with Goku using. That's great. That's such a better dynamic. And they even showed that Beerus still pummeled that form into the ground, saying that you can't beat me with an evolution of Super Saiyan God, I'm way beyond that. It doesn't matter how much you evolve that form. Cool. It gave us such a good dynamic, and it sets up that Goku and Vegeta can still keep up with each other, and some can get ahead of each other at any point, though Toyotaro is a little bit of a Goku fanboy, though I hope that'll change a little bit in this tournament, but not too optimistic after this last chapter. Besides that, though, it really should be the case that these two are close to each other if that's the dynamic you're going for. I mean, look at the opening title screen for the first, few arcs. Vegeta and Goku, after they both got blue, were standing next to each other. They were equals. They were rivals. They were at the same plane. It even super ends with them at the same elevation, squaring off at each other, completely contrasting the idea of the Saiyan arc where Vegeta was so high above Goku on the higher plateau because he was the more powerful fighter and the more powerful Saiyan. It completely is trying to sell you this idea that these two are close when really they're not. If Super had ended, by the way, with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta versus SS Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku, fine. I wouldn't be having this issue with the ending. But at the very least, admit that, Toriyama didn't want this, and drop it, and just make it never come back. That's all. I don't want to see Kaioken again. I don't want to see it go up to 30. I don't want to see it to go up to 25. I don't even want to see it to go to 21. I want it to stop. I want us to finally get back to them being close in rivalry. I want us to stop baiting nostalgia, and I want this show to be something a bit more interesting. The Tournament of Power actually showed us this great dynamic where Ki could be used in a variety of ways to make things and do things that we never thought possible before. They're trying to expand the capability of their power system to match modern shonen. Excellent. How about our main cast do that, and not just these fodder characters in an 80-man battle royale? That's it for me, guys. It was a bit of a rant this time. I've been wanting to press on this topic for so long, but now that the Tournament of Power is over and everything, and we got to actually see more of Kaioken in the Tournament of Power, I still stand by what I say. It made Jiren too strong, it made Beerus too strong, it pushed Vegeta to the side and into this position where he needed to get something new to even keep up. But what do you guys think? Leave your opinions and counterpoints in the comments down below, and subscribe if you want more anime videos. But for now, video outro!